both of our parties. And
both programs, both
parts, yeah. And so these are the two books, Course in Miracles and AA. And
the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes. So these two books show up in your. Thank you so much. These two books show up in your life, and you get to pay attention. And there might be huge resistance around both of them, but they have been major shift changers and conscious builders for, I think, both of us.
So I have a definition of addiction for me. It doesn't come out of the dictionary, and I'm not sure clinical people would agree with it. But it's any behavior that becomes a compulsion that is injurious to either you and or others in an emotional or physical way. So any behavior that becomes a compulsion means you've lost control. You're just on autopilot. And it's injurious either emotionally or physically to you and or others. That's how I think about addiction. And it's not just limited to the obvious examples. We always think about substance use disorder when it comes to addiction. Oh, he's a drug addict, he's an alcoholic. So the substance use disorders, yeah, I see how that works. But you know, there's other forms of addiction that don't seem as obvious because nobody gets behind a wheel, drives drunk, and people get killed. And stuff like overspending, stuff like hoarding, stuff like obsessive compulsive disorder. Like, remember Monk from that show? He would arrange his peas in 5 rows of 5, you know, so you have 25 peas in the grid. That kind of stuff, you know. How does that hurt anybody? Well, it's not really hurting him, but what's going on for him that takes him away from, you know, stuff where maybe he could be like changing his life for others to have to get those peas in a row. And then the final thing is you can get addicted to people. And what you're looking for there is something in others to replace what you don't have. So I think about addiction very, very broadly, and even though there may be no substance use overusers here, my guess is just about all of us are addicted in some way to something. And that's what I really want to focus on, is how these, in one case it is addicted clearly, addressed clearly alcoholics, but also, you know, the solution, which is in there, but it's also, I believe, woven into the Course in Miracles. When I was married, I had a wife who loved fashion, and she had a really nice clothing collection, and she had a walk-in closet, and she would periodically, like every week, go in, take everything off the hanging bars, throw it on her bed, and put it back exactly in the same order it was hanging, only spaced the hangers perfectly. She got great solace and comfort and peace from that. So there was something going on for her. You know, clearly that was, she was distracting herself by doing that. Anyways.
Because in Under Earners Anonymous, they talk about time specificity and time vagueness, and how we keep ourselves busy reorganizing the same things over and over and over again, or surfing the internet, or these different ways that we just don't add any creative value to our lives.
I was reading a book a friend gave me about 6 months ago. It was a really great section in it about what creates, you know, this compulsion. And there's 3 parts. There's a cue, there's a routine, and there's a benefit. Okay? So the cue is usually discomfort. There is something going on, I call it the dissing. You know, disagreement, dissension, dispute, disharmony, go on and on. There's something going on internally for someone that needs to be addressed. So that's the cue. It could be fear, resentment, it could be other things. The routine that the addicted person knows is, okay, rearrange my peas, go out, get hammered, use drugs, go out, buy myself something. There's a lot of things. So that's the routine, and the reward is a sense of relief.
Yeah.
Everything feels okay now. And it works. It works. Until it stops working.
Yeah.
The periods of relief are shorter. The periods of relief do more injury to either the individual doing it and or others. And ultimately, it spins out of control, and they have someone is ruled by their compulsion to seek relief from those cues that are bubbling up within us.
Yeah. I think it means that it's going to cause injury, it's going to cause harm.
Exactly.
So to be impeccable about that, because some places in our life are like, it's not going to hurt anyone. But every decision affects everything, either positively or negatively.